All right, so Abzan Adventure. So Adventures here, as people will recall from last season, is headlined by this dude, Edgewall Innkeeper. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if it has Adventure, draw a card. Actual adventures in this deck are Giant Killer, Foulmire Knight, and Order of the Midnight here. One thing that's kind of interesting is, we'll note we are not playing the other Adventure Knight that drains the opponent out. Also no Clovers in this deck, probably for that reason. This deck is aiming to be a little bit more of like a mid-range or rock style deck as we look at the rest of the spell selection outside of the adventure cards. We got 4 Agonizing Remorse here as hand disruption, and then we've got Dire Tactics, which was honestly very impressive in the Niv Mizzet deck we played the other day. And then we also have Mythos here, which if you spend Abzan colored mana on this, you can destroy any non-land permanent. We got a couple of trophies here. We got a couple of unbreakable formations for breaking board stalls. And then we've got Lurrus of the Dream Den here to let us recast our value from the bin. Something that I'm going to be interested to see in this deck is, if we look here, when we don't have Innkeeper, our deck's really going to struggle to generate any sort of real card advantage, right? Like, with Edgewall Innkeeper, we can get a lot going on, but without Innkeeper, we're going to struggle to generate 2-for-1s, I think. No Lovestruck Beast is weird. No Lovestruck Beast is because Lurrus requires each permanent in our deck have a converted mana cost of 2 or less. So, let's go ahead and pop on into some matches here with this one and see how it goes. I'm really going to be interested to take note of what the power level of this deck feels like in the games where we can't find our way into Innkeeper, as that's one of my concerns. Fiend Artisan for a late game threat and or to fetch. Yeah, it could be a card worth considering. Card looked like it had done some work in some other Lurrus variants. I'm gonna take fires here, because I can kill their second fires. Like, next turn we'll play Lurrus, and then we can kill their next fires. We can attack down their card. So, card, unless they uptick him here for no value. Got a Grafdigger's Cage, sure. Yeah, you can play Clover with Lurrus. Unfortunately, if you just, like, look at our selection of stuff, though, we really don't have a ton of... We don't really have a ton of adventures that we're super interested in doubling up. So, unfortunately, do not have a human, so you're going to lose 4 life here, but that's fine. You get to go ahead and kill the Sarkin. Just Skype Fire Planeswalkers is interesting. Haven't seen quite as much as that as the Cavalier variation. Punished for not holding up Unbreakable formation. Yeah, I guess we could probably expect sweepers in their archetype, so maybe I should have held that up there. I think I should have played Castle there to hold up the formation. I'm going to go ahead and kill this Bone Crusher Giant in response to the Kruga so they don't get to draw a card. I'm gonna grab their Sarkin here, because there's a chance they're playing Conqueror's Death, and what's in their graveyard could matter. Yep. Yeah, my plan for this week and next week, Saven, is to do 10-hour days if we're above 2,000 viewers. I'll probably end after about 8 if we're below that, but as long as the viewer count's good, I plan to do long days while the deck queue is full.
Your end has arrived.
Feels dead. Feels dead. Just got pretty thoroughly outclassed there. Did not feel like we were particularly competitive. So I have some Assassin's trophies I can bring in here. But do I even really want that alongside everything else I have going on? Would I rather have trophy or unbreakable formation? Probably trophy. Yeah, I'm probably the beatdown here. I feel like that game highlighted well, you know, I talked about being worried about what does our deck look like in the games where we don't have Innkeeper, and that was one of them, and we just kind of puttered out and died, right? Like our cards just didn't do anything. Alright, here's an Innkeeper, let's do it. You like the Mythos cycle, power-wise, and from a design standpoint? Power-wise, I'd be kind of surprised if any of them other than this one saw a wide range of play. A lot of them don't seem particularly powerful. From a design standpoint, I think they're a pretty neat space to explore overall. Especially in a world where it's just all bad. I guess I'm gonna take this so I can guaranteed cantrip one of these giant killers, but all of our options are bad here. Yeah, Bone Crusher, hope they miss a land is probably the most realistic. I agree. Take Bone Crusher and then we miss a land. Yikes. I think I just do this. A 4-mana tutor that gets you 2 cards could definitely see play. Nah, I don't think so, K9. I can't remember the last time a constructed format was slow enough for an effect like that to be reasonable. I think you're very overly optimistic that a card like that could be reasonable and standard. Punished. Want to hold Giant Killer for now because they do have a Sarkin. Want to be able to chop down a Dragon token should they deploy that.
I have a plan.
GRN had Mastermind, see play. That deck wasn't competitive, David. I get that, like, I played it, and Allie played it, and some people played it to have fun, but that wasn't a competitive deck.
Here goes nothing.
I think it's gonna stick this time, chat. I think it's gonna stick this time. And now, like, I'm just, like, got this hand full of answers. I'm, like, trying to be this deck that's super interactive. I think this game's probably over anyway, so I'm gonna cast this without manually tapping and see what it does. Pay with green, white. Perfect. You love to see it. So I get to chop down the dragon and then Mythos the Sarkin at least. Kaya's Ghost Form could be better than a breakable formation. It's a permanent we can replay with Lurrus. That costs fewer than 2. That's cute. I don't hate that idea. I mean, to be fair, Innkeeper is a Bob-style card, Robin. It's a single threat that generates card advantage, right? Long pants, long pants. Thanks to the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to Hoglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday wherever you're at in the world. Hey. Magic. Maybe I'm supposed to cycle the Triome before playing stuff out there, because I could draw an Innkeeper. Just gonna cycle this and get my auto pass value in.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. Hone your prowess.
Yeah, I think we're pretty dead. The Mythos auto tapper is cool at least, I agree. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, like, so, like, the Lotus box at a tournament this past weekend that had a bunch of Lurrus Aristocrats decks in their top 8. It'll be interesting to see if any of those have staying power. I agree, like, all of these style of decks feel like they just get devoured by these Deafening Clarion control decks. Have not felt particularly competitive. Yeah, we haven't done much winning in Standard today. Both the Dark decks were good this morning, and Standard's just been a giant crapshoot. There's a lot of dying. I don't know. I wouldn't mind qualifying for their thing for next month, but like at the same time, who knows when the next Invitational is gonna be? It could still be a while with the condition of the world that the world is in. And playing on the ladder is just more convenient than playing at events a lot of the time. If we hit, like, a really good run with decks that are in the queue and, like, spike into, like, I don't know, let's say, like, top 200, we'll probably sit on it. But other than that, we'll just, like, hammer it, I think. Interesting what happens when Clarion rotates out. Well, Flame Sweep will still be legal, right? What set is that one in? There's also the fact that, like, we have 2 more sets between now and then, so a lot of things can happen. Flames of Power 2. Yeah, I will probably get some kind of filler for that slot in the meantime. I think I just do this and power these up. Get my blockers going. London's air pollution is 1/3 of this time last year. Big old social experiment going on. Yep. How long am I planning on streaming for today? We've been playing this deck for about 15 minutes, depending on how successful it is. There's going to be one more deck after this, so probably another hour and a half, 2 hours. Opponent is mostly out of gas here as well. Cruel Celebrant Cat Corpse Knight is gonna kill us real fast here though, huh? They're doing 3 every single loop. Does our deck have any way to gain life in it? We have Lurrus with lifelink in the sidebar, but that's even not really real, right? This set might be quick. It's been a little rough. Alright, Deadweight sounds great. Hushbringer sounds great. Devout Decree sounds great. I want Heliod's Intervention. I don't know. Giant Killer is not good. It's a little awkward that, like, and that's another thing too here, like, looking at this list, like, we cut Giant Killer and we're down to 8. Like, I'm down to 8 adventures post-board. Well, Zeeb's someone that thinks the London Mulligan was a mistake, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume that their opinion on Companions is equally awful. I believe Black is also in the camp of thinking that they're too good. But I don't know for sure offhand. You think I keep Giant in? Regardless? Really? Alright, I'll keep 2 of them. Maybe this is too many Doomblades. I probably want to have ways to kill Oven, though. Zeeb often sounds like an old man yelling at clouds. I agree. Sam Black is the one who said it's the worst thing since Phyrexian mana. That's a take. That's a take. His article is literally titled "Companions is the worst mechanic for the health of magic since Phyrexian mana." My opinion remains the same regardless of who's giving these opinions. Anyone who is giving strong opinions on any of these mechanics, having played with them for less than a week, they're very silly. Yeah, they're trying to they're making money off of clicks. They're trying to generate clickbait, and I agree. Like, I've lost a lot of respect for a lot of people. Like, I don't know, these things might be too good, they might not be. Can we just, like, play some games with them first before we, like, put them in a corner? Can we just play some games first before we get super reductionist and make nonsense comparisons? I guess I just Hushbringer plus Decree this turn. if someone like put a gun to my head and told me I had to have a strong opinions on companions after playing with them for less than a week, my current feelings on companions are that they're sweet, and I like the extra deck building aspect they've added to Magic, and I kinda hope they become a regular part of the game. So far my time spent playing with companions has been fun, and I would not mind if companions were something that we saw on the regular. If we saw 1 to 3 new companions per set, I wouldn't mind. If they had lots of neat designs they could go with. Hurry up and wait doesn't generate clicks. Like, I don't even have a strong opinion on it, right? Like, my opinion on it is just like, shut up and wait. Like, that's literally my opinion. My opinion is, why are we in a rush? Why are we in a rush to like cry about these things and say that they're definitely bad? Why can't we just like enjoy them for a little bit and see how they work out? That's a good draw. Crunch, crunch. Interesting to note that our opponent's doing something that I think we might see more of too. Like, our opponent, oh, it's exiled, is actually just playing Lurrus in their deck as a creature, which is neat. $247 players enrolled in the Open. We might hit the cap today, chat. We might hit the cap today. I think my favorite part of the idiots who hate Planeswalker crowd are when people complain about Planeswalkers not being interactive. And it's just like, I don't think that word doesn't mean what you think it means. Because, like, Planeswalkers are, like, the most interactive card type in Magic. It's the only card type you can attack with your creatures. Like, you might not like the gameplay patterns that they generate, but they're super interactive. Yes, if you're someone that's joining for the Open, make sure you test your ability to broadcast your matches to Discord while playing Arena 2. That is a requirement to play. If you're unsure on that, you want to snag a slot now and test later, and you discover you can't, you can always drop after the fact. But again, as long as Arena lacks a real spectator mode, if we ask you to broadcast your matches and you are unable to do so, you will be dropped from the event. That's a strict requirement. Number one goal for the Open Series is coverage. Yeah, some people equate interactive with fun for me, and they think the two are interchangeable. I agree, Anaphylactic. The word interactive tends to be grossly misused in the Magic community. Yeah, just join a voice channel in the subs Discord server and just, like, in the Magic general chat, say, hey, can someone pop in and look at my stream for a couple of minutes? There's usually plenty of folks around. I'm going to try and give as much leeway as possible, Metsu, but I don't really have a way to validate that personally. And again, players are responsible for ensuring that their internet and computers are capable of doing what needs to be done. It's just like the only reasonable way to do it. Hey, Tuskiga, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm looking forward to Saturday as well. Probably should have played this pre-combat with the cat, huh? So, my problem with the people talking about all of these companions being immediate card advantage is that it's ignorant of what Magic's been in recent memory, because a number of these companions are not worth a card, right? Like, you look at some of these and you look at the impact that they have in an average game, and I go, that the 3-2, for example, and like, obviously there's ones like Lurrus that are a little bit more powerful and a little bit more pushed, and like, they, again, one of the things I think Magic players incorrectly conflate a lot of the time is if Wizards misses the mark on power level with even a single card in a type of card, so many Magic players very ignorantly and unnecessarily write off the entire card type. Like, the number of people who just say 3-mana Planeswalkers are bad, or Planeswalkers with static text are bad, just completely ignorant of the fact that, like, there are a number of static text Planeswalkers that are fine. And there's a number of 3-mana Planeswalkers that are great and interesting and wonderful, and they just want to, like, write off entire segments of cards because one card in that segment missed the mark. Like, sure, maybe Lurrus ends up being too good. Maybe. We don't know yet. But, like, you know, again, you need to test things. You need to get some games in. Am I defending Wizards? Yeah, something like that. Yikes. So, like, now my Innkeeper's gone, and I have a bunch of cards that are just, like, kind of low power level. How did Jeskai control it? It was a dumpster fire. Felt really clunky and awkward. Lacked efficient card advantage. Was the big takeaway for me. Defend Lurrus, he's a good boy. Lurrus definitely felt busted in the combo deck we played this morning. We played an Underworld Breach Lurrus deck in Historic, and it was delicious. What is there? Here's a question for this deck thinking about problems. Is there any other cheap card advantage this deck can play that's not Edgewall Innkeeper? Hey, Commander, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. Is it just Clover? Soul Guide Lantern. What does that card do? Chevil's really not that. Priest is kinda, I don't know that Priest really qualifies as card advantage with the spells that we're playing. Trail of Crumbs requires a number of very specific deck building things to go your way. That's a fair assessment. Our deck does have an okay amount of removal. Some of our removal spells exile, though, right? Like, four of our removal spells exile is an issue. Yeah, but like saying priest with Lurrus is good, so we should play priest is awkward because it's saying this is good when you have your best thing going, and it's like we shouldn't be maximizing our deck to be good when we have Lurrus in play, because it should just incidentally be good when that happens, and we want to make our deck as good as possible when we don't meet that condition, basically. Is my typical line of thinking with things like this. Call the Death Dweller could be okay. The problem with Call the Death Dweller is I'm interested in making my deck better when I don't have Edgewall Innkeeper. Is it possible we want to just be more aggressive and play the Drain Knight? Like, what do the knights look like in this format? What if we made this more like Adventure Knights with Lurrus? What are my knights that are legal that meet this requirement? Not really. Yeah, Crusader's red, though. Crusader's red. None of the other adventure cards are super stellar. There's, like, Smitten Swordmaster here. Yeah, Fiend Artisan was something someone else suggested. I could see that. Lurrus Knights is busted. I'm curious what that looks like. Yeah, this could be okay. How many creatures do we have? We have 20 creatures. So if I like get these in over, some non-creature spells, we could get up to 24 creatures. Maybe we don't want Remorse in the main deck. Companions guarantee the same play patterns. I mean, like, how often do you get Ember Cleaved and die? Like, Magic's been pushed towards repetitive play patterns in a lot of different ways. I would much rather get Lurrus and Gyruda and Yoriand than Ember Cleaved and the other crap that's been happening, right? Like, and again, saying that it's all the same and happens the same every game ignores the fact that Magic has an incredible amount of variance in other places, right? What if we did something like this? We added Fiend Artisan and Smitten Swordmaster to have just like more actual things here, and then our non-creature spells are just like 8 pieces of removal. Board again, Cage against Teamerwreck. I really don't feel like I need Heliod's intervention in my Mythos plus a trophy deck. Let's try this. Sure. Goes Innkeeper in, and like even here, like seeing Smitten Swordmaster, like again, just like having 16 adventures for Innkeeper seems really good, right? Seems super reasonable. There's 4 spots in the open, chat. 4 spots. Sorry, I felt like I needed a tweak because there were only 4 spots. I'm gonna draw 2 more cards here, huh? To 252 players. We're gonna cap at 256 because if you go to 257, you need an extra round, and I'm not into that life. Who's got 2 thumbs and is excited to die to Cry of the Canarium next turn? This guy right here. Everything worked out better than expected, chat. Everything worked out better than expected. You love to see it. I don't know what they're doing. I feel like Giant Killer's probably bad. I'm gonna trim Killer and bring in Remorse and click submit. They could be a blue-black flash deck based on the fact that they conceded to us getting it on the board really quickly. With 4 of cards in your deck, you're 50% tip one of those by turn 3 and 60% by turn 4. Yeah, I agree, Happy Boys. I agree that the repetitive play patterns argument is generally speaking a red herring. Which Rodinchi has played what seems like the best thing to be doing right now. I think there are a number of decks that seem reasonable in the format. Yeah, Brad is planning to play on Saturday. We're going to put him on feature round 1. Who is Brad Nelson? Brad Nelson is a member of the MPL that was a SCG. He was Player of the Year at one point, I believe. A lot of big Magic, person with a big Magic resume. Plays a lot of Standard, is notably known for playing a lot of Standard and doing well in Standard tournaments. Alright, so would I rather get rid of the Cutthroat or the Slitherwisp? I think it's the Slitherwisp. Yeah, it's played in Magic Worlds a few times, etc. I think Blue-Black competitive is competitive. Blue-Black Flash is competitive. I don't know. The more I play with and against Blue-Black Flash, the less good it seems. It feels to me so far a lot like the blue-green Flash deck from a couple of seasons ago before Brad Nelson and friends shoved good cards into it. It feels like a deck that's incredibly satisfying to play with and incredibly frustrating to play against, but the average card quality just tends to be very low, and a lot of the time it just doesn't seem very strong. Yeah, it's definitely a feel-good deck. When you're winning, you feel great, and when you're losing, you feel pretty hopelessly behind. Blue-black flash not getting Aether Gusted is a decent reason to play it. Aether Gust is very good in this format. Shark Typhoon is very, very good in most control decks, especially with fires, though. Yeah, basically, Wargy. They have a removal spell here. Even if they have a removal spell, I just get to, like, Lurrus it back next turn, so it's not a big deal. He says before he does that, well... Alright, what are you looking for? Foulmire Knight, I think is our best draw. How about 2 more lands, chat? How do we feel about 2 more lands off the top? Do we think that's good or bad? Please let me know. Please let me know in the comment section down below. I hear that lands are good to help you cast your spells. That's true. That's just the facts. I'm gonna go ahead and trade the Swordmaster for the Cunning Nightbonder here. Any adventure creature next turn, please. Any adventure creature. Alright, I mean, all things considered, this can stonewall the Cutthroat, right? So that gives us, this buys us time. Better, it's much better than another land, I agree. Yeah, that's true. This does just, like, put them under the Abyss here soon. They're mousing over him. Don't kill him. He has so much to live for. Mercy. Mercy. Something worth noting here, too, that we have to be conscious of is this makes us lose life every time they cast a flash spell. So, like, don't really want our life total to go any lower than 5 here. Interesting that they elected to trade there, rather than letting him hang out for a little bit. Now again, even though we have Lurrus here, we can't cast any of these things out of the bin because of Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, the Slitherwitch being the blue-black flash's really only source of card advantage is a big deal. A lot of our adventures just really aren't that worth doubling up, Wargy, is the issue. Yeah, Octopus is technically card advantage, it's just real slow. Our best draw here is Mythos. It depends if they attack. If they attack, that's not true. I think I take this and go to 4. Alright, brick. Please have as many bricks as I do. 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 Just brick by glorious brick. This Order of the Midnight could steal this game because they were so aggressive with this castle. Just, hopefully there's huge tracts of land on their side of the board here too. We are jumping, Sea Dasher, trading with Cutthroat, going to 1. I mean, Whoop Squad, just so you understand my position, I've won significantly more matches with Blue-Black Flash than I've lost as well. Most of the decks I play, I'll have won more matches with than I've lost. Again, when I talk about a deck feeling good or bad, it has nothing to do with the match results, the current record with it. They're taking a really long time, which probably means we're dead. And again, like, if you're enjoying a deck, don't let my evaluation of a deck discourage you from playing it. Magic's a game that you should enjoy the play patterns of more than anything. It's just like having played a lot of different things this season, and I even played some Blue-Black Flash off stream because I like the deck. It's fun. There's 255 people in the open chat. I refreshed and we're at 255. Hype overload. Cap it out. Here's playing a 2-1. I think I'm playing the other Triome out here. I think I want 4 lands in play. What's the cap? 256 is the cap. 250. At 257, you have to add a 12th round of Magic. I ain't into that life. If you're someone that is getting one of those slots and you're signing up, if you're signing up, I'd encourage you to read all the details there, including the structure of the event. It is double elimination, as opposed to traditional Swiss where you get paired every round. Are there any legal reasons, tax reasons not to charge for your tournament? I mean, yeah, there's some extra hoops you technically have to jump through if you want to charge an entry fee, but like, I also am like, there's kind of an entry fee. There are a number of people who have subbed to the channel explicitly because of the event. I think I'm pumping this and killing this Grazer here. We were talking about this earlier too. If these become popular and more successful, we kicked around the idea of like, do we want to stream the tournament on a delay? And I don't think we really want to do that. So I think even if we ramp up prize support at some point for this event series, we're probably going to do it in a more flat manner than anything else. Like, I really don't want to, like, have it be super cutthroat with tons of cash. Like, the goal of this thing is to, like, be a community event and provide coverage for it. Like, my goal's like, I'm not Channel Fireball, right? Like, I don't want to make a bunch of money off of entry fees. It's not my goal. My goal is to, like, make good content, have people want to support my good content. So, like, even if we add prizes at some point, I think I'm just going to flatten the prize structure. Like, it would be really sweet at some point, like, if we had enough prize support to, like, everybody who got 5 wins got something, right? Like, that would be cool. For the current structure, everybody that gets 6 or more wins will get prizes. So, it's a good start. I believe we've died, chat. I believe we've died. Yeah, we just can't win. Agonizing Remorse sounds great. I mean, we hit what I would consider to be a pretty bad technical issue in the first event, and we were only down for like a round, so that's not bad. The max top prize. I actually think the current max top prize that we have is pretty good. There's like 150, maybe 200 bucks to the top. And like, and again, one of my goals would be to have even the top prizes be pretty comparable. So that way, again, we can focus on content and not worry about a delay. Because, like, you know, if there's only a $50 in-store credit difference between first and second, like, most people are gonna be reasonable and, like, not be screen peeking and cheating, looking at the stream while we play, right? It is against the rules to watch the stream while you're the feature match. And, like, obviously, I can't realistically enforce that, but structuring the prizes in a way that that's not heavily incentivized is something that we can realistically do. The biggest prize to your face on emote. To be fair, getting to be the Hoogle champion is great. We also have a bunch of Discord specific emotes, so when I have to kick someone off, like when we have to take Napper off there, unless they could win 2 weeks in a row, I suppose. But if Napper doesn't win 2 weeks in a row, I think I'm gonna put their face in one of the Discord server emotes so they can keep it on Discord. Alright, am I agonizing remorsing here? I feel like the answer is no. I think I want to hit them for 5 this turn, so that way these each have 2 power, so that way they can pump themselves up without paying mana from here on out. Mutant minimize, mutant close, either of those Bushus. Alright, now you get to take 2 cards from them here. Shatter is definitely one of the cards we're taking. What's the second one, though? Probably just Nissa. I don't think we can beat an endless stream of 3/3s, huh?
I am in need of rest.
I mean, that doesn't really confirm anything, though, Bushus. Yeah, the fact that Agonizing Remorse doesn't fuel their escape is really great. I agree.
I am not going to sit this one out. I've got it.
How's this felt? It's been okay. I don't want to say it's been bad, but it's been middling. There might be something. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you're not just being super linear, figuring out all the little details on decks like this can be tough. There's a lot of iterations and permutations. How many Conqueror's Death do you leave in versus Lurrus decks? 1 or 2 at most, probably. I think I'm just pumping a Knight of the Ebon Legion here. This is nice too because this is getting up to 4 power now, so if they draw Shatter, we get to draw a card at least. Are we full? Did we hit the 256? No, my thing says 255 still. Oh, they took my thing, chat. Well, that's rude. The list of participants currently signed up for the tournament on Melee is public. TX Pump Fist. If you look in the list, you can confirm that your username is in the list of enrolled players. If you're someone who's wondering if you are there or not. I guess that's actually not that bad. It's actually like, that was actually pretty bad on their part, right? I get to do this, and then I get to do this and draw 2 cards. It's actually pretty okay for us. Who's a good little night cat? Yes, you are. Oh yeah, there's also a list in your player settings that should list all the tournaments you're currently joined for. Yeah, we're kind of chugging along here. I've got 2 knights in play currently. Alright, now it shows 256. I can jump attack with the adventure creatures, you're not wrong. How many cards do they have left in here? 4, but at the same time they can just pick them back up again. I think I'm Order of the Midnighting to draw 2 here and see where we go from there. I'm going to go ahead and chop this down and then play another one out. Now, obviously, they have Ashiok here that's going to fill their graveyard back up, and eventually we'll have to start tapping that down, but at least this takes mana up from them. I think we're just passing. Yeah, this is a free roll, right? Well, I guess it's less of a free roll, because if they kill it now, I can't recast it. This would have been a free roll before I cast my spells. Yeah, so definitely should have done this before I cast my spells. They didn't do it anyways. Sure. One good punt deserves another, huh? How do you know if you're in the event? Your username will be listed on the event page in the open list of players. There will also be something in your player settings, I believe, that lists all your tournaments. So they're at 15. Worth noting, I have 1, 2, 3 knights in play at the moment. I can kill this Ashiok, which is nice, so that my things get to start using the graveyard again, which is wonderful. So you get to hit this here. I send this upstairs. I think I'm going to attack with the Knight of the Ebon Legion too, honestly. Hello, lovely wife. Oh, she brought me food, chat. She does love me. Sometimes. How are the monsters?
You're missing a really nice day.
Is it a really nice day?
It's the only nice day in the forecast.
I promise you there's going to be a lot of nice days.
Declan lost his pants somewhere in the backyard.
Declan lost his what?
His pants somewhere in the backyard. They might have been playing with water.
Wait,
Not nice enough out to play with water, but they were playing with
Wait, did you
water.
say he lost his pants?
Yes, I
His
said
pants. Okay. That is a very Declan thing to have happened. He lost his pants. Oh, Declan.
And then, did you help him with the TV?
I did help him with the TV.
Thank you, because I was in a conference call for work and helping Jacob with a conference call with his class.
You're a good multitasker.
It was something.
He was funny. He hit some button to turn the setting on and put it on black and white. And then I came back out there and goes, Dad, the remote's not working. When I came back out and he had the remote pointing at his chest. It was like, darn it, kid. Darn it, child. Love you too, wifey.
Working late tonight. Chad, can I have him back today?
I mean, even if I go offline now, I still have more work to do. So.
I know.
I love you. I'll be done in a few hours.
Will you be done before it's dark out?
No.
But I didn't make the boys clean up the yard because Jacob's and my call were starting.
I will clean up the yard. It'll be okay.
Or I'll just make them go do it.
Your children could probably clean up after themselves, too.
They can't do all of it, though.
So, have we actually stabilized this game? No Dream Trawler happened, and it feels pretty good. Are we Fiend Artisaning and into anything useful at this point? I feel like we're not, right? I mean, do I need another Innkeeper? Oh, that was pretty good. Alright, I should have done that pre-combat. I was distracted. I'm going to blame the fact that I was distracted. We're going to get a game 3 here at least. Dire Tactics has been real good. It's been an genuinely impressive card. Sorry about that. I had to take my teeth out there so I can eat the food she brought me. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. I'm going to run it back. I think it's important to prioritize keeping Giant Killer here because Dream Trawler seems like their best card that we have the hardest time dealing with, and this is a soft answer to it, which is nice. They mulligan super low as well here, which bodes well for us. I do, Psyduck. I'm, like 30 weeks into a little over a year of Invisalign. I actually talked to my dentist the other day via video call, and she said normally at this point in Invisalign treatment they start wearing the trays every week instead of for 2 weeks at a time, but she said one of my teeth is so crooked they don't recommend that, so I'm going to be on 2 weeks for the entirety of it, which is annoying, but you know, as long as it doesn't jack my teeth up, that's probably for the best. It's been alright. It's definitely, like, a little bit inconvenient, but it's probably less inconvenient than having, like, actual braces would be. It's not particularly cheap, though. We have one of those good health insurance plans through my wife's work that includes some dental, and the dental insurance that we pay for, only covered, I think it was like $1,200 of the $5,000 it costs. Is it working well? I don't know. I'll let you know in 26 weeks when it's done. I probably should have attacked with both of these here. That was probably a mistake.
I am Tamio. It is an honor to meet you. I have learned much from my ancestors.
I think I'm going to give up 3 points of damage pumping this here. So that way I can pump one of these in response to the Shatter to draw an extra card here, I think is the line. I think I want to get rid of the Ashiok here. So this way if I draw one of my 4 knights that pick something back up out of my bin, I can get back in the game by picking Lurrus up.
This isn't a fight you can win. Oh, I've done the hero thing before. You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Are we paying 4 to draw a card here, chat? I think we are. I think I'm into it. So I could dire tactics there in response to it sacrificing itself to deny them a card draw. But these are zombie knights, not humans. So if I elected to do that, I would lose 6 life, which doesn't seem particularly tenable at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and Giant Killer here to just destroy this. And then next turn I can Agonizing Remorse. In the event that their card in hand is bad or a blank, I can just Agonizing Remorse the arrow. There's also only 3 cards left in their bin at this point, which isn't a big deal. Get our value off this Scry land. Okay, so they have arrow in hand and 1 in the bin. Sure. Easy choice. Cycle this, see where we go. It's like an episode of Groundhog Day, chat. Okie doke. Giant Killer is at least a human for these, so in an okay spot potentially. They blocked because they wanted to escape, chat. Stop it. Telling me they have Shatter. Get out of here. Alright, well that was a heck of a one to end on. I don't know, maybe there's something here. The more having more threats definitely seems like the direction I want to move in. What's that card called? This is a card this is a card that was very reasonable in Adventure Nights when we played it last season, and maybe could potentially be okay here again. Again, like, looking at this deck and thinking about potential problems that we have, the one big issue that I feel like this deck has at the moment is, what are we doing when we don't have Edgewall Innkeeper? And I'm not really sure we have a great solution to that at the moment. Like, being aggressive and running people down could be one answer. Playing some copies of Incubation Incongruity could be an answer, just so we can, like, have Edgewall Innkeeper a little bit more consistently. I think could be an alright choice. I definitely like having more threats overall. We still had 8 good pieces of removal, and honestly, Dire Tactics is so good. I think this might even be high. Like, maybe we cut 2 of these and put 2 Incubation in. Like, I really feel like the strength of what this deck is doing is the proactive nature of it, rather than trying to be the super reactive deck that's grinding a ton of card advantage. Like, I feel like having removal should be an extra feature. It shouldn't be like the primary thing that we're doing. Yeah, I don't know if Clover is interesting. Yeah, Mythos seems fine. Like, I think I definitely want Mythos, like, in the 75, but I don't know that I, like, want all of them in the main. Because another thing to think about, too, is, like, Giant Killer is basically another removal spell, right? So, like, even if I cut down to 2 Mythos and 4 Dire Tactics, I have these, and I basically still have 4 or 10 removal spells in the main deck. And that's, like, Foulmire Knight's also a removal spell sometimes, too. Moving more in the Knight direction to, like, maximize Swordsmith could also be something that's reasonable. I don't know, like, what the other Knight is you'd really want to play. Your pickings are, like, Worthy Knight, Venerable Knight. Maybe Blacklands Paragon as another pseudo removal spell could be okay. Oh, maybe Corpse Knight's just playable. Maybe this is better than Fiend Artisan. This is a card that, like, meets the requirement we're looking for, and it, like, drains people out. You're replaying things with Lurrus. That could be okay. Want to pay 6 and get a Knight token, chat? Like Orzhov Lurrus with Corpse Knight and Cruel Celebrant? Sure, yeah. This creepy, the Fiend Artisan trigger is tops creepy. Alright, you know what? I think I'm actually going to go ahead and call it a day. I thought I might do one more, and I know we're still over 2,000, but it is a nice day out, and Christy's outside with the kids in and out. So I'm gonna go give her a hand and hang out with them and enjoy the weather. I'm gonna run late the rest of the days this week if we have a lot of people here. I appreciate all the support with that folks have given with the new set release. I'll be back tomorrow morning by 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. As always, you see the decks coming up in the deck queue there. I'll be live tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday is the open. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, wherever you're at, and stay safe out there in this crazy world. All right, who we throwing a host at? Oh, that's perfect. Sean's online. I'll just send you over his way. Works out just swell.